We've all bought games on Steam sales that we've yet to see the main menu on, let alone even install. Whether it's because our backlog is just too big or a game was bundled in a set, certain games end up sitting in our libraries unplayed. Not every game on this list was heavily discounted, and not all are necessarily intimidating or niche, but those factors generally play a large role in us ignoring certain games. Enjoy our list of 15 games we bought but never got around to playing. Let us know in the comments if you have any personal picks and if you resonate with any of our entries. HalfLife Blue Shift.
You, man. Hey, Calhoun. Looks like we're in for a long day today. Have a good one, Calhoun.
This tray.
Half-Life Blue Shift was Half-Life's third expansion pack that let us control a security officer in a short single-player campaign. Blue Shift was essentially just more of the original Half-Life, sure. There's some new equipment and the twist of playing as the security officer Barney, but the gameplay and unbroken narrative structure were the same, which is great for fans of the original. Most Steam users own every Half-Life expansion thanks to the many Valve bundles on sale for dirt cheap year-round, but only few have actually played the more obscure titles like Blue Shift and its older sibling, Opposing Force. Frostpunk. Frostpunk is a city builder with a twist. That twist being a no-win scenario managing a society engulfed in a devastating volcanic winter. Whether it's because of the clever premise or impressions from famous streamers, Frostpunk sold over 3 million copies as of the last fiscal quarter. Well, a recent Steam summer sale has escalated sales a bit more for sure, considering the attractive $3 price point for a time. Because of its bleak tone and demeaning gameplay, it wouldn't be surprising if Frostpunk ended up collecting virtual dust in many digital libraries, despite its word of mouth and recent sales urging players to buy it. Deus Ex Human Revolution.
Someone there?
I don't know if I've ever seen a game so consistently discounted as Deus Ex Human Revolution. Despite featuring lots of cool elements that expanded the original Deus Ex, like dialogue trees and a fully fleshed out augmentation system, Human Revolution didn't sell very well. You could typically pick up Human Revolution for $2 on sale, which is a bargain if you're looking for a good stealth hybrid RPG wrapped in a conspiracy-laden cyberpunk setting. The barrier to entry in this case is its age, and other recent games like Cyberpunk 2077 keeping people from going back to this brilliant game. DuckTales Remastered. There were a lot of licensed video games in the early 90s and late 80s, but the original DuckTales on the NES was one of the better ones. The studio most known for the Shantae series, WayForward, saw the potential of DuckTales and produced a remake of it from the ground up in 2013. DuckTales Remastered is another one of those games that got positive reviews and consistent Steam sales years after release. The game is instantly recognizable thanks to its branding, so lots of gamers end up buying it at one point or another. But how many have played it? The platforming genre is still going strong in 2024, but a remastered or remade in this case game from 1988 isn't likely to be at the front of many gamers' backlogs. Mad Max.
Exaltations! She's cracked open! We must hurry. Wardens of this place murder on sight!
2015's Mad Max is one of the best examples of a game receiving mixed reviews from critics yet garnering universal praise from the audience. The fun of its open-world vehicular combat is hard to fault, and the characters have top-tier voice talent. Over the years, gamers realized what they missed out on with this 2015 cult classic and took advantage of the numerous clearances this game has enjoyed. Mad Max is on a lot of gamers' backlogs and deserves to be experienced by even more people, even if initial reviews and aged graphics sour its reputation a bit. Murdered Sole Suspect. The concept behind Murdered Sole Suspect is instantly appealing. You take the form of a ghost detective who possesses the townspeople of Salem to find the true identity and whereabouts of the notorious Bell Killer. The gameplay is slow-paced but engaging as you collect and gather evidence around the atmospheric small town. For many, the appeal quickly wore off as the game accumulated negative reviews criticizing its poor controls and short length. Nowadays, Murdered Soul Suspect enjoys a steep discount down to a mere $1. The cheap price of admission helps make this detective mystery game's 4-hour length more palatable. Now, we're just waiting for our backlogs to slim down a bit so we can actually play it. Silent Hill 4: The Room. Silent Hill 4 felt like the most misplaced entry in the series when it came out in 2004. Strong speculation circled its launch, including rumors that it wasn't even intended to be a Silent Hill game until the halfway point in its development. Despite some irritants like the single save point and departure from traditional puzzles, Silent Hill 4 did quite well for itself regarding sales and reception thanks to its strong horror atmosphere and claustrophobic apartment setting. Still, that stigma of it being a departure from the series remains, and many fans still own copies of the game without completing it or even starting it. Sekiro: Shadows Die Twice. Sekiro received the highest honors, winning Game of the Year at the 2019 Game Awards and heaps of accolades on top. It's also arguably the most difficult From Software game, which is saying a lot. The singular focus on parries and shieldless swords combat really limits how you can build a character, forcing players to get good to overcome its challenges. Sekiro is not a game you can easily cheese through. It's not surprising to learn that Sekiro has the second lowest completion among similar From Software games, Bloodborne being the lowest, with 27% of players clearing the final boss. Sekiro's curated approach and brutal challenge aren't as welcoming as Elden Ring, causing it to sit in players' backlogs until they muster the courage to finally confront it. Prey 2017. The reboot of Prey is a cult classic that helped push the immersive sim genre forward. It didn't have the fast pacing of Dishonored or Deathloop, instead owning in on complex emergent gameplay and a constantly evolving environment that you familiarize yourself with. Because of Prey's positive reputation as a cult classic in recent years, players are eager to try it out, which is easier than ever considering the amount of sales and discounts it's enjoyed. Actually dedicating yourself the 30 gigabytes of space and dozens of hours to figure out its emergent systems, that's another matter. Control. Remedy has enjoyed breakthrough popularity thanks to the success of Alan Wake 2. Their previous game Control did well enough when it launched, but it's now receiving a bit of a bump thanks to the aforementioned Alan Wake sequel. Players looking back through Remedy's catalog undoubtedly took advantage of the recent discounts Control had. Whether it's due to Control not being a direct entry to either of Remedy's two series, Max Payne and Alan Wake, or because its unusual premise and mix of live-action scenes, Control still likely isn't being played as much as it deserves. Rise of the Ronin. Whether we like to admit it or not, Rise of the Ronin sits in between some massive game releases as the odd duck out. Yeah, it received positive reception from critics and fans alike, but the daunting stance-based sword gameplay and large open world are likely to result in it sitting on the back burner of gamers' priorities. Furthermore, Rise of the Ronin shares an overall aesthetic and action controls with games like Nioh, Sekiro, and Ghost of Tsushima, resulting in some folks waiting until they're ready to experience that samurai vibe once more. Disco Elysium. Disco Elysium isn't for everyone. As an isometric RPG, it features robust dialogue choices and a flexible skill tree emphasizing player choice. The game received multiple Game of the Year nominations and won awards like There's No Tomorrow thanks to its iteration on old-school Fallout mechanics. But the tone is particularly well executed and also where some resistance may be met with certain players. The atmosphere is constantly bleak, with the themes of civilian oppression and suicide serving as a common thread throughout. Disco Elysium has enjoyed many sales through the years, and many players have bought the game due to its tremendous success, but it can be difficult to start up due to the heavy tone that it exhibits. XCOM 2. XCOM 2 takes the turn-based tactical gameplay of the first game and ramps it up a notch. There are more scenarios, more class abilities, and far better mod support than the first game had. Despite these general improvements, XCOM 2 has some intimidating aspects to its design, like the aggressive timer putting pressure on choices during combat sections. XCOM 2 often gets praised as the go-to modern turn-based strategy game thanks to its vast mod support and cheap availability. But it's also a deep systems-heavy game, with some difficulty spikes that keep it in the backlog of many gamers' libraries. For Honor. There just aren't many successful games that fit within For Honor's unique niche. Medieval sword duelers have garnered a cult following, but For Honor sits as a AAA title with dedicated multiplayer servers, and it somehow succeeded with yearly updates. Naturally, such a unique premise attracted a variety of gamers to try it out for themselves, but there's also a large number of people who bought it on sale through bundles or on a whim. Subnautica. Subnautica is an excellent survival crafting game set within the horrors of the deep ocean. While the crafting genre is bigger than ever today, Subnautica has a more niche appeal due to its lack of multiplayer functionality. Searching for minerals deep in the ocean trenches can be a very isolating experience, further amplified by the Cthulhu-esque horrors that pursue your every move. Subnautica has been offered for free from PlayStation on several occasions and can usually be found at a steep discount. So many players have snatched it up. Here's hoping the single-player restriction and horror elements don't scare off too many players, as Subnautica is one of the best games of its genre. So, how about you guys? What's that one game that you bought that you still haven't played? For me, that's Killer is Dead. I bought the deluxe box set for PlayStation 3 and the Steam version, and I still haven't opened it up. One day. Anyway, did you know that we at GamingBolt upload new videos every day? Stick around, drop a like, subscribe, and hit that bell, and let us know what kind of content you'd like to see in the future with a comment below.